What's going on, YouTube? Murphy's Law Garage here. We are getting really close to getting this engine pulled out and building our 340 small block Chevy. But before I do that, I kind of want to go ahead and get my new electric fan set up, installed into the car. That way we know for sure that we will have an electric fan when we're breaking in our 340 when the time comes, because it's really not going to be a good time if we're going to break the engine in and we don't have any cooling happening. This is the setup that I have. This is a fan from Summit Racing. I can't remember the part number on that. It might be somewhere on the box. I'll get that, put it down in the description below. This is like a 1750 CFM electric fan. That's the relay kit that we're going to be installing on it. And then I have a new radiator support, upper radiator support for a 4-core radiator coming in that we'll put on the tank, get rid of this old plastic fan shroud here that's literally held in place by just a few bolts and some zip ties. So I had to modify this a little bit for the 4-core radiator. So I had to like cut in some reliefs here and there. It just kind of looks trashy. So we're gonna get that all taken care of. First thing I'm gonna do is remove this old fan shroud. All right, there's the old upper fan shroud out. It's just 4 10mm bolts along here. So easy peasy. Then we're gonna replace the clutch fan, or get rid of the clutch fan. I gotta go out and get 4 more of these bolts that are about a ½ inch shorter. Because if I run the ones that are in there, they're gonna bottom out and not be mated to the pulley correctly. So we gotta go out and get those. And I can't remember what size those are. I'll let you know what they are once I go get them. I gotta pull one and take it over to Lowe's or Home Depot and do all that fun stuff. Also got to get a couple self-tapping screws for like the relay and everything as well. So once I go out and get those parts, we'll continue on. Okay, I went out. This is the size of those bolts that I got. That's going to be what holds the pulley on after we remove the clutch fan. Also, my new radiator support showed up, and it is a tad bit smaller than what I thought it was. But for right now, it'll work because that ain't going nowhere. So what I'll probably end up doing is making my own later on down the line. But even though it's not exactly pretty, it works for the time being, so we're gonna rock with that. All right, this guy is out, and the new bolts holding the pulley are in. The spec torque on that is, I don't know, a few ugga-duggas. I'm sure there's probably one, but I just tightened it down to my heart's content. We're gonna call it good. Oh, crazy hair, sorry. So the next piece that we're gonna do here is I'm probably gonna drain the radiator, get that all done so we can take the rad out, so I can put this new fan in. And once the fan is installed, we'll start looking for a way to wire in the relay. All right, we're just gonna keep letting that drain till it stops, and we'll get this bad boy out. We're gonna start getting this fan mounted in and just slap it back in there. Shouldn't be too hard. I'm just gonna try to center it the best that I can, and then we'll go ahead and put it back in. I think that turned out to be pretty dang good. Also went ahead and removed my AC condenser. I'm going to be getting rid of the AC setup on this car just because I have AC, windows, and T-tops. I'm going to make it a little lighter in the front too. Yeah, this is basically a brand new compressor that I never used. These are also brand new lines that I never used. And these condensers are pretty sought after, so I'm probably gonna sell this whole setup on Marketplace. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and test the fan real quick and make sure it works. The way I'm gonna do this is just touch these to the battery. So I think we want blue to be positive and black to be negative, because you can reverse. So I think that's what we're gonna do. Black, negative, blue positive. Let's see what happens. Ooh. Yep. Awesome. Now that we got the hoses and everything all hooked back up, I also went ahead and zip tied the wiring here so it's not flopping around. Don't need to get that tangled up in the serpentine belt. I think I'm going to go ahead and mount my relay over here, and that should give me enough room to do all the wiring that I need. Still need to find a ignition source, but I'm sure we can find something. But yeah, so this is kind of where we're at. I'm digging the look, I'm not gonna lie. I do like that. That's pretty good. That clearance is a little tight, but you know what? We're gonna run it. I think it'll be just fine. Hopefully. Stay. We're gonna start getting this thing wired. We need a wire going from the battery to the circuit breaker, and that's going to go to the red wire here. So my candidate for that is this guy. This was the wire to the ECM. I'm probably just going to splice into that. We'll put that into the circuit breaker and then hook that up. And then it looks like the black wire is going to go to the thermostat switch, which is going to be this guy right here. I already went ahead and took the plug out of the intake since we don't have any coolant in here right now. So we're gonna put some thread sealer on that, get that in. And then the purple wire is gonna run to the fan. That'll be, let's see, the blue wire on here. And then I'll have to ground the black one out. And then the yellow is going to an ignition wire. So something up in here that I'll find. But seems relatively simple. We should be able to get this thing done pretty quick. All right, so I'm doing this as I can. I got a new baby at home, so time to work on the car is a little off, so it's all being pieced together a little bit here and there. So that's wired in, and it's directly into the battery here. So that should be good. I'm gonna start getting the rest of this done. I got the temperature sensor. Ooh, where's it at? Right there. I got the temperature sensor into the intake. So now all we really need to do is just start wiring up the fan, get the power source wired in, temperature gauge, and then finding that ignition source. So it's coming along. We're getting there, almost done. And then I will go ahead and fire this up after my replacement pulley comes in for this, because I'm removing this out. I have one of those ordered, and should hopefully be here within the next day. So we'll get this all taken out as well when we go to test the fan out. Also, my fuel gauge doesn't really work, so I'm low on gas. I can hear the fuel pump starting to struggle for its life a little bit. So went out, got some fuel, we'll fill it up and get this thing running again. You know, upon further examination, I don't really like where that's placed. And considering I have 6 foot of wire, I think I'm going to move that somewhere else. I just don't like how close it is to the radiator. Okay, so here's what I ended up going with. I put it right up in here. And honestly, when you're just looking at the engine bay, it really doesn't look like, you know, it doesn't belong there. You know, you really can't tell that that's a aftermarket piece. So I have the wires all routed to where they need to go. Here's our power and our fan. I got the temperature switch wire over there, and I'm getting the ignition wire put into the car. I'm putting it through the firewall over there, and we're gonna put it right into the fuse box. So yeah, I think this ended up being really good. I dig that. It's a good look. And I am gonna go ahead and get some of this like wire protecting stuff
and do that all up, because I have a few wires coming out of the firewall over there. I think if I just do them up and make them look somewhat nice, it'll turn out a lot better. But for the time being, I think that's good. So I'm gonna start trimming and fitting, getting everything done so we can throw some fuel in the car and see how it works. All right, and with that, everything's all wired up. I went with a like a weather connector right here on the one leading to the fan. We got our wires hooked up for the circuit breaker. Thermostat wire is in, and I have that connected to a ignition source up on the fuse panel. So we should be ready to go. I'm gonna fill this thing back up with coolant. We're gonna make sure we don't have any leaks down below, anything like that, and throw the battery back in it. All right, we have power. Nothing's, you know, turned on or caught fire, so that's a plus. I'm getting the rad filled up. So much quieter without that clutch fan. Kind of like being able to stand next to my engine bay and not have that annoying wind sound going on. But trying to get some water cycled through. Sounded pretty good. And the fan works. I had to adjust my ignition wire, but you know, we're gonna call that a success. Wow, I could talk. That works good, I think. Blowing a lot. You feel the warm air moving out. It's getting cooler. Look at that. Alrighty, y'all. Thank you so much for watching this video. I've been sick through a lot of this. It's just been a lot of fun. There's a little bit there. Hope you really liked the video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. If you're new to this channel, go ahead and subscribe. We got a lot of fun stuff. Now that this is done, we're gonna go ahead and start getting ready to pull the engine out and put all of those parts on that table back there onto there. We're redoing this engine from the ground up, building a 340 cubic inch small block Chevy. Sadly, a snowstorm is moving through, so my pulley that was supposed to get here tomorrow is no longer getting here tomorrow. Hence why we just went ahead and did this tonight. But once that pulley comes in, I'll throw it on the engine. It's probably going to be, I don't know, I might start putting it on right now just to make sure it all works and everything. And that way I know there won't be issues with it when it comes time to break in the new engine. But yeah. And now that the electric fan is done, time to move on to the 700R4. All right, once again, thank you all for watching. We'll see you in the next one.